welcome you back to Thompson Bowling Arena. The 16th rated LSU Tigers up 4 spots from a week ago and improving with a bullet. Their starting lineup looks this way. Burnell Singleton we highlight because this young man, coming off an ankle injury a week ago in the Alabama game, had 27 over the weekend against Ole Miss. He's sort of a forgotten star with this team. Gets all of the garbage for Dale Brown's club. He is now in his 19th year at LSU. 352 career wins. And now 5-1 this season in Southeastern Conference play. Huddling with his team, and you see the Tennessee Volunteers starting lineup. The notable addition to this lineup is Michael Curry, injured at the beginning of the year. Dan, he will mean ever so much in defending Shaquille O'Neal tonight.
He's the guy who definitely drew the short straw. He's got to try to go against Shaquille.
Wade Houston, this is a guy that takes it easy. He was coming off a tremendous loss at Vanderbilt we had a few weeks ago, over 40 points, but he understands that's part of the game. This is a team that is still trying to find its identity. Tennessee's last home win way back in mid-December. LSU has won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two. They lead the SEC in scoring, but look at the turnover problem, and against a team as tough defensively on the perimeter as LSU, that's something they have to be concerned with.
You simply can't turn the ball over that much and have a good basketball season, and Tennessee's struggling. Shaquille O'Neal is definitely not the solution to their problems. They're going to have to find a solution to Shaquille O'Neal.
As you watch Shaquille O'Neal, recognize also he has not shown us a sky hook all year, and yet Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spent a few days with him. There are those in this league that believe he is actually holding back in his offensive arsenal. To think of that, well, that's very scary. The opening tip control to the Tigers. TJ Pugh running the point for LSU. And Sean Griggs will take the bank shot.
Griggs is a guy that teams like to drop off because he doesn't really have much of an offensive game that he's shown, but he can hit that shot right there. Tennessee is going to have to get out and guard him at least that far from the basket. And here's Griggs defensively. He's a very unorthodox defensive player that can really give people problems. His matchup against Allen Houston will be interesting to watch.
Lang Wiseman counters for Tennessee, and we're tied at 2. Cross-court pass to Griggs, and it draws the foul from Michael Curry.
You don't score 97 points a game, which is the pace that LSU scores at during this season, unless you can get the ball up and down the court. Wiseman is going to hit the basket right here. That's a real tough shot against Hansen. Some pretty good defense. But watch as Tennessee turns, they start jogging up the court. LSU takes the ball and comes running down the court. The Tennessee defense not set. You can see Ronnie Reese just coming into your picture. He's the guy who's supposed to be on that side of the zone, and he wasn't there.
If there is a problem with LSU, it's at the stripe. Sean Griggs 60% at the free throw line this year. And you see the numbers. The steals obviously key. He leads the SEC in that category. This is a team that houses a number of guys that have their share of thefts in Southeastern Conference play.
LSU starts in a man-to-man defense. They've got to be very conscious of Allen Houston. You saw Singleton come out and double team against Houston.
Houston draws the foul from Sean Griggs. Sean getting up gingerly, if at all. Yeah, he's up.
It's a shot that Allen Houston actually forced against some pretty good defensive pressure, but Houston is an intelligent player. And when he gets in there, he sees that he's by Griggs. And as he's by Griggs, he's got his shoulders by him. He knows that if he jumps up and creates the contact, the foul is going to be against Griggs. That's a very good play by Allen Houston.
I talked to Allen prior to the game. I said, do you have any idea who might check you? He said, well, judging from the film, I'd say Sean Griggs. He was right on with the scouting report.
Well, what do you expect? The coach's kid is he's supposed to have some insight into what's going on.
Great young man. Not getting the credit he truly deserves as an individual talent because his team is not performing well.
Man-to-man defense now for Tennessee.
O'Neal baseline.
And that's very good defense against O'Neal. A Unfortunately, Reese falls down, and LSU's going to get an easy basket. But Curry stayed in front of him, kept him away from the basket, forced him to shoot that jump shot.
Briggs is still limping a bit with that left leg. Houston, recognizing that, takes it right to him, and he picks up a second quick foul, and he'll hobble off. Lanier Burns will come into the game for it.
Teams have tried to play in front of O'Neal. Teams have tried to play behind O'Neal. Here Curry plays behind him. You notice he doesn't let him get by, moves his feet pretty well, jumps, gets the hand up. But Ronnie Reese, now the mistake that Reese makes right there is he's falling down, he's going out of bounds. He should have taken the ball with him by throwing it back in bounds. He gave LSU an easy 2.
Steve Rivers operating at the point now for Tennessee. Essentially a 3-guard offense with Rivers, Houston, and Lane Wiseman. Reese baseline, soft lefty.
Reese looking out of the corner of his eye to see where Shaquille O'Neal was. He was on the other side of the lane. Reese went up over Singleton. Nice shot.
Very important for Tennessee to get out of the gates and get the crowd into it. Singleton drives. Ronnie Reese picks up the foul. His first. Second team foul against the Vols.
Wade Houston is up. He's going to talk to Ronnie Reese. The last thing that Houston's defense can afford is for Vernell Singleton to penetrate to the basket. It's something Singleton does very effectively. If Singleton's able to get by, then that means Curry's got to come and help against him, and that leaves Shaquille loose on the inside. Is that the same Band-Aid he had last week?
Yeah. By the way, he liked the Derek Chivas line. I talked to him prior to the game. He said, I am the Chivas of the 90s. We bring the Band-Aid to the upper body.
He's like my 4-year-old son, Kerry. Once you get a Band-Aid on that kid, he never takes it off.
Only a few of Dale Brown's players have been superstitious. 7-6 Tigers. 2 minutes gone from Thompson Bowling Arena. Tim Brando, Dan Bonner with you. Happy you joined us. Wiseman follows his own shot. Got O'Neal airborne, and that's one for Shaquille O'Neal on the rejection side. T.J. Pugh.
And O'Neal really made that play on the offensive end. He got down there. He was the one who caught the ball on the break, gave it to Pugh, then screened everybody away from Pugh. Not much future taking it at Shaquille O'Neal.
Houston penetrates. Nice dish to Curry. T.J. Pugh with the steal. It goes back to LSU.
We talked at the top of the show about T.J. Pugh and his defensive ability. That time, Allen Houston drew O'Neal very effectively, but Pugh took the ball away from Curry.
Singleton. If he makes that shot, LSU becomes very dangerous. They lead by 5.
That should not be legal. You know, they got Hansen who can shoot from outside and O'Neal inside. There should be a rule about where Singleton can shoot the ball from.
And a steal by Singleton. Houston picks up the foul.
LSU is extremely quick defensively. They're able to turn a lot of these turnovers into points. You can see here Rivers just holding the ball on top of his head. Singleton, that pass is telegraphed. He whips around very effectively, gets the fast break started. Allen Houston gets really a tough foul. You get to the end of the game, you're going to be sorry you got that one.
The alley-oop to the shack. Boy, that drop step maneuver he makes before receiving that alley-oop is something to see.
That really irritates the Tennessee coaching staff. That's the one play that you can scout and see out of what set they do it and how they do it, and you tell your players and they just don't react.
Curry shot off the front iron. The Tigers lead is 7. 8 unanswered for them. And Shaq takes it back to the ring.
Against LSU, I think those are the Tennessee fans right there.
Well, they appreciate outstanding play, but that's got to be tough for Wade Houston to see.
Tennessee, I think, has to run through the offense a couple of times. They can't shoot the ball quickly. Obviously, they can't be turning it over.
10 unanswered points for LSU.
You have to make LSU, in my opinion, play defense a couple of times through on the offense. You don't want to be taking the quick shot.
There you see it in the last couple of minutes. LSU on a roll.
Because when you shoot the ball, you got to figure in most cases that guy right there is going to get his hands on it, and then you're going to be running back to play defense.
Curry trying to put a body on O'Neal, and that just leaves a vacuum for Pugh.
Probably for Curry, what's he going to do in there? He goes to pick up Pugh. Pugh's going to throw it to O'Neal for the dunk. Got to stop that penetration. And again, how many people for Tennessee just handled the ball on offense, Tim? Only one.
Double dribble against O'Neal. Very important for Tennessee to get out of the gates. For 2 minutes they did. Now they've seen a 10-0 run, and they trail by 11.
Eddie, listen to this. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
It says right here that conspicuous consumption is out of fashion. Traditional values are back in. Club hopping is out. Gardening is in. Nouvelle cuisine is out. Simple good food is in. Sequin bustiers are out. Plain pocket t-shirts are in. Eddie, do you know what this means? We're hip. I've got to call Lois.
Food, folks, and fun.
No one can guarantee you a perfect world. A world where the unexpected never intrudes. But some of us know we'll be taken care of, quickly and compassionately. In an imperfect world, you're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
1985, 86, 87, 88, 89. For 6 straight years, the full-size pickup from GMC Truck has retained more of its original value than any other in America. That's why sales of the Sierra are growing faster than any other full-size pickup. And we intend to keep it that way in 1991 with these new Sierras. And in 92, GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore. It's quality on the road.
LSU with an 11-point lead, and they get at you in a lot of different ways. Here, Lang Wiseman's going to take the ball to O'Neal, but O'Neal, first of all, he blocks the shot. Now watch what he does. He bats it out, and so now they can go out and run on the fast break. And look who's loping in the middle here. Bounce pass to Pugh. Now watch him screen off these two guys so Pugh can score. That's one way they do it to you. Then another way, how do you lose Shaquille O'Neal right here? Curry can't find him. Wow, there he is, dunking the basketball. And then running in the break, they can do it. Shaquille with a pretty good dunk off the fast break as well.
So far, balanced scoring as well. Griggs with 5, O'Neal, Singleton, and Pugh all with 4.
Oh, Goodson just pushed him right out of the way, and Goodson is going to get called for a foul.
There are some fouls to give at that position tonight, and Wade Houston's guys will give them up. Wade knows the foul was committed. He'd like to get a little bit of a break, though, when he's going up against someone that good. 4 team fouls now committed by Tennessee.
Tennessee has now changed defenses, Tim. They're in a 1-3 in the lane. Griggs is going to travel right there. And Lang Wiseman, number 22, is matched up against Mike Hansen. Coaches call that a 1-3 with a chaser. So 4 guys are playing zone, and 1 guy was guarding Hansen. And Hansen went right to Dale Brown, and I think he told him that.
Wiseman looks inside for Goodson, and all he sees is O'Neal. That's 2 more blocks in that transition. LSU turns it over.
And Wade Houston thinks that second block in that series was a goaltend. I just don't think you ought to take it at that guy, because I just don't know that there's a future in that.
Houston, too strong. The air ball brought down by Mike Hansen.
Boy, they get down the court. And look who's in the middle of that pack down there. It's O'Neal.
Off the screen from Shaq. Mike Hansen gets his first deuce.
Tennessee had everybody back down the court, Tim, but LSU was just so relentless on that break. Tennessee didn't have time to get the defense set.
19-6.
They need to move the ball and move themselves on offense.
14-0 this run so far in the last 4.5 minutes.
When Goodson catches the ball in there, the other guys have to do some cutting to the basket. Wiseman misses that one. Goodson's got the rebound.
Wiseman again. Reese will get another try. And the foul picked up apparently by Singleton. Our incidental contact that will belong to Tennessee. No foul call. UT has missed their last 10 field goal tries. This is like your worst possible nightmare if you're Wade Houston, as you see Carlos Groves coming into the game and Steve Rivers checking out. You know you have to shoot well from the perimeter if you are to have any chance against LSU.
Tennessee is a small team that's got to shoot well from the perimeter in just about any ball game. There, Wiseman hits a three. That's a big basket. But against this team, you really have to shoot well from out there.
So the drought comes to an end after 4.5 minutes.
Well, now once again, Tim, O'Neal missed that dunk, but Tennessee was still trying to get organized on defense. They had some substitutes come in the game, and Allen Houston was telling Jay Price where to go when that lob was thrown. You've got to get ready.
Did you see the fans? They gave him a 3 on that attempt. Houston for 3.
That's good offense right there. Good screen. Get that kid open for the three-point shot.
Anytime you have a player of his caliber, you have a fighting chance. 19-12. LSU's lead cut down to 7.
But remember now, 3 guys are playing zone. 4 guys are playing zone. They're guarding Hansen man-to-man.
You lost it inside. And then Goodson traveled.
That's really a tough break for Tennessee. Goodson came up with the ball. As he was falling down, he elbowed Jay Price, his teammate, in the stomach. So not only do they have a turnover, but Jay Price paid a heavy price for it.
Off the inbounds, we look at the LSU set. Singleton too strong. Look at Greg Sky. Lanier Burns keeps it alive to Vernell Singleton.
3-second violation.
That's 3 seconds that you know is coming because 4 guys touch the ball in the paint for LSU.
Well, of course, every time the shot is attempted, the 3-second count is off, and it doesn't start again until the team gains control. But they had a lot of guys, as you could clearly see, camped in there. Now you get a chance to see what Tennessee's trying to do offensively. Watch Shaquille O'Neal. Rarely is he going to leave that lane area. There's a foul right there.
That's the 3rd on Griggs.
Griggs is trying to guard Houston. The last time down the court, remember now, he got picked off big time, and Houston got wide open for a 3, so he's trying to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Check that, Griggs only with his 2nd personal foul, so a foul that we earlier had going to Sean Griggs obviously went elsewhere. Wiseman. This is now a 9-point run for Tennessee.
That 3-point line is the equalizer, Tim. Tennessee's changed defense. They're in a straight 2-3 zone.
Lanier Burns comes in with a tray. 22-15. Q starts it in transition with the steal. The pull-up won't drop. And Gannon Goodson. Good. Let's do Allen Houston. Groves. Boy, that's one the Tennessee fans would have loved to have had.
That was a great pass.
What work by Allen Houston. He showed that he would go for it, then waited, allowed the ball to go out of bounds. LSU. Tennessee's got it, and some momentum when we come back.
Last year, while the other guys were fighting over truck sales supremacy, the roof fell in. Dodge ranked highest of any full-size pickup in the J.D. Power survey of customer satisfaction. So this year, while the other guys were fighting again, deja vu. Dodge Ram's ranked highest for the 2nd year in a row, while sporting the best powertrain protection of any truck around.
Now save up to $43.70 on select trucks at the biggest Dodge truck sale ever.
Hi, Chris Berman here. Bud Bowl 3 is coming January 27th, and you could win $100,000. That's right, $100,000. Just write down the final score on your official scorecard and send it back. Pick up scorecards and team stickers where you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry Draft Beer. You might even win an official Bud Bowl 3 Wilson football. Don't pass up your chance to win $100,000. Bud Bowl 3, January 27th.
Nice pass, Chris.
Bob Nickel knows a little French cafe where the food is magnifique, but the bill isn't. Now, where do you suppose he'd rent a car? Budget, where he finds the most luxury Lincolns, over 3,500 locations worldwide, and very tasteful prices. The smart money is on Budget.
Now you can rent a Lincoln for the smart rate of $99 for any 3 days with unlimited mileage at any participating Budget location. The smart money is on Budget.
ACC Big East Wednesday comes your way tomorrow night. Duke and North Carolina State. Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale will have that one for you. Our good friend John Saunders busy in the studio tonight. Busy at the site tomorrow night with Special K, Clark Kellogg. Well, we know what Tennessee must do. This is it, Dan.
Well, they're going to have to shoot from three-point range. Gannon Goodson gets a great screen right there against Hansen. Wiseman's able to shoot the three-pointer. In a lot of situations, Shaquille O'Neal would be helping out on that screen, but since O'Neal wants to stay inside, then he's not available for that help. You can see Tennessee only 25% on the year, doing much better than that tonight. That's 25% in conference play.
One of the reasons they're 1-5 coming in. They know they have to shoot well from the perimeter and have it so far this year. There's another turnover.
We talked before the game about the number of turnovers that Tennessee has, and you really have to consider that one a turnover that wasn't really forced by LSU. Got to be careful in handling the basketball. You don't want to give a team like LSU any extra opportunity.
LSU's lead is 7.
Tennessee in the 2-3 zone.
Griggs keeps it alive and uses the bank. He has 7 in the game. Jay Price is in trouble. Off the trap, Singleton comes away with it.
Boy, that was a tough trap right there.
Hansen pumps. Wiseman brings it down for Tennessee. Houston. Houston with 7. He'll quietly get his 25 or 30. He may need 40 against LSU tonight. Hansen.
Oh, that's a good rebound right there. Milson doing a great job.
Darrell Milson clocking into the game for the first time. Number 32 with the ball right now for the Volunteers.
LSU in the man-to-man defense is doing a great job keeping pressure on the basketball. The fellas from Tennessee really don't have much of an opportunity to look for cutters. There again, that's pressure on the ball.
Griggs from the backside against Houston. Goodson. A few more of those could bring O'Neal away from the hoop. LSU's lead down to 5. Griggs for 3.
Oh, my.
That's what the opposition does not expect. He has 10 in the game. Wiseman for 3.
That's a great decision by Milson. Milson caught the ball, turned around, and handed it to Wiseman. Boy, that's an intelligent play right there.
After a 14-point run for LSU, Tennessee showing signs they may hang in there.
No good. That was in the cylinder.
Wave off the hoop.
It looked nice, but it was in the cylinder. Singleton gets in the middle of the zone before those 3 guys down along the baseline realized that that ball, I think, was going in the basket. But Shaq got up there and couldn't resist it.
Carlos Groves has come back into the game for Tennessee. Of the players Tennessee has in the post area, Groves considered the best offensive threat. John Piku coming into the game for LSU, the youngster out of Mobile, Alabama that Dale Brown has been so impressed with early on.
He's going to sick him on Lang Wiseman. Boy, Goodson doing a nice job picking people out there.
Lanier Burns is checking Allen Houston now. Burns, number 21. You see Houston beating him.
Oh, great pass!
Good presence of mind by Groves. Out of bounds to Tennessee.
Groves, Goodson, the other guys inside have to be aware that Shaquille O'Neal is going to go after the block shot in more cases than not. Great job. Houston gets him up off his feet. Groves has an opportunity for a dunk if he just catches the ball.
Wiseman. Considered a standstill shooter. Lang Wiseman off the dribble brings the ball still within 3. Hugh. penetrating for the deuce.
The young man's not really known as an outside shooter, but if you're going to let him penetrate to the basket, he can really hurt you. He had 18 points against Auburn doing exactly the same thing.
Houston. O'Neal brings it down. Hansen will come back in on the next dead ball for LSU, and they'll need him because with Piku and Q in the backcourt, not much of an offensive threat for the Tigers from the perimeter.
Not in terms of standstill shooting, Tim, but Q showed you that he can penetrate that zone and really cause some problems.
O'Neal finds Burns. Harold Boudreaux.
Boudreaux, I think the foul's got to be against Boudreaux right there. He really went.
Yeah, it's a push against Boudreaux.
That's a good thing they don't charge you for fouls against your own teammates, or he'd have two right there. He just knocked Wiseman and Burns right onto the top of the cameraman.
It has been a game of runs, but as we continue, it begins to appear as if Wade Houston's team is going to hang around a while. Keep it entertaining.
We went to the fight capital of the world and asked the fans, who's the greatest heavyweight ever?
By far, it's Muhammad Ali.
Ripping punches, Muhammad Ali.
Who's the heavyweight champion of the world?
Sports Illustrated presents Muhammad Ali, the video. It's free with your paid subscription to SI.
It brought back memories, things I'd seen and hadn't seen.
Palavino. God's former Joe Frazier. He float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
Goes down like a tree struck by lightning. And the Muhammad Ali video is free.
How can it be free?
It's free when you subscribe to Sports Illustrated. Save over 50% off the cover price.
Kind of like Muhammad Ali, it gives you everything.
You'll get 23 issues, including the baseball preview and the swimsuit issue for 3 monthly installments of only $9.89. Or you can pay by credit card.
This is Ali at his very best.
People who never had seen Ali would love this tape.
You can't walk away from this tape without being a Muhammad Ali fan.
You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man.
Call our toll-free number now and get knockout savings on Sports Illustrated and get the Muhammad Ali video free.
I took up the wall.
Experience the thunder. Down under. At the first Grand Slam event of the year, the Australian Open. Coverage continues tomorrow afternoon at 2 Eastern on ESPN. On guard for ACC Big East Wednesday. Duke's Bobby Hurley meets NC State's Fire and Ice combo of Corsiali and Monroe. Then Pitt tries to stop Eric Murdoch of Providence. Wednesday night live on ESPN.
Back to LSU and Tennessee in a moment. A couple of scores from the Big East. Villanova on a roll, 72-59. They win over Boston College, their 6th straight loss in the Big East. Connecticut about to lose for the 4th straight time. A minute left, they're down 9. Let's go back to the game.
All right, John, thank you. Boy, Little Louis Club really playing well. They handled UConn earlier, you'll recall, on the road. And, of course, this is a team with Malik Sealy that is getting better and better. It's hard to believe a team from New York would be not getting as much press as perhaps it deserves, but St. John's truly one of those teams. Here it is 29-24, Tigers by 5.
Man-to-man defense continues for LSU. And that's the problem. Shaquille O'Neal, if he's going to stay back in the lane, which he tends to do on defense, and that's a pretty good idea, he's not available to help on those screens.
Mike Hansen will counter.
Boy. Talk about somebody being under control. The fake very calmly dribbles past the jumping Wiseman and drills him. He put his hands a little bit on Rivers right there.
If you're Dale Brown, you have to be concerned because Allen Houston is beginning to show he's really in a rhythm for tonight's game. There he is.
And another screen by Goodson gets him loose. You don't want Shaquille O'Neal helping on that screen that far from the basket, but you're going to have to think of something.
Led by 13. Hansen is lethal from 3. He has 8 in the game. Wiseman. Harold Boudreaux outlets to Hansen. Well, that's NBA range there. That is from the ozone. Remember in the Alabama game and they made a run? They were down by only 10 after trailing by 22. Hansen hit the big three-pointer to sort of put it away.
Who said LSU was just Shaquille O'Neal? That's a great defense right there.
Briggs again gets a hand in the way of Allen Houston.
He fought his way through the screen.
Briggs. O'Neal touched it, and he got it back out of bounds to Tennessee.
That's pretty good athletic play by Groves to get out of the way of that basketball. O'Neal's trying to hit it with him. Hit him with it.
You don't want to be hit by Shaquille O'Neal even by a thrown ball.
One way or the other, or vice versa. O'Neal and Groves going to go after this basketball. This is a great effort. Now watch, O'Neal gets it. He's going to try to hit him with it, but he missed. How would you like to be the fellas in the coats and ties sitting there on the bench with that guy running at you?
Shaquille breathes on you and you'll go down. I mean, that's how powerful he is. Gerd Hammock has come into the game, a youngster from Dedam, the Netherlands. He's played so well in the relief role as Steve Rivers connects for Tennessee.
Rivers a little more confident with O'Neal out of the basketball game.
Hanson penetrates. Briggs forces one. An athletic hoop that time. He has a dozen. 40-32 LSU. Houston penetrates. Hammock claims his first rebound. He had 9 in a relief role in the first half with O'Neal in foul difficulty a week ago. Burns, his shot won't fall. Boudreaux on the floor. The arrow to Tennessee on a tie ball. The Volunteers will get it.
Tim, LSU does such a great job getting the ball into the offensive end quickly. Tennessee just really hasn't been able to set their defense very many times tonight.
There's the final. Little Louis' team comes through. They knock off Connecticut after a late run by Jim Calhoun's club. As John Saunders mentioned, they have lost now 4 in a row of the defending Big East champions. That game played at Madison Square Garden.
Allen Houston out of the ball game. Going to get him a rest.
It has become a perimeter game. Both teams shooting well. Ronnie Reese gets one inside for Tennessee, and the Tiger lead is 6. Steve Rivers with the rejection. Rivers!
That's great defense by Hanson. Hanson measured him all the way down the court, caused him to miss that shot.
Third turnover of that variety for Dale Brown's club. But they'll keep on keeping on. They lead by 6 with 3:45 to play for the master motivator.
Nothing beats it. The one and only. The clean, the crisp, the cold. The king of beers.
Nothing beats the bud. Nothing beats the king of beers. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
Magic Moments, presented by Dodge. Playing for his father Press at LSU, Pete Maravich averaged 44 points a game, scoring more in 3 seasons than any other major college player has managed in 4. Wherever he went, sellout crowds came to see his trademark passes and a dazzling shot selection that earned him the nickname Pistol. With Pete popping away and Pop pushing Pete, the Pistol achieved a level of excellence that may never be equaled in a career of magic moments.
This is Motor Trend's top 10 pick as the best American sports sedan buy. And this, the best American EconoSport. And this, the best American minivan. All of which have one thing in common, the name Dodge. Dodge Spirit RT, Shadow ES Turbo, and Caravan. Joined by yet a 4th top 10 selection, the 300 horsepower Dodge Stealth RT Twin Turbo.
Now, get up to $1,500 cash back on select Dodge cars.
40-34 our score. Dale Brown is talking with Shaquille O'Neal over on the bench right now, but he recognized early on that it was important to bring in other people for him to listen to, like Bill Walton.
You have a guy you want to develop as a center. Who better to instruct than one of the great centers of all time? You see Walton right here working with Shaquille. Look who else is in that picture. Gerd Hammock. People talked about Hammock's improvement. Maybe Bill Walton had a little effect on both of those guys. But for Dale Brown, the philosophy right there is Walton probably didn't tell those guys anything that the coaches hadn't already told them, but it's like when your parents tell you something. You never pay any attention to them, but then somebody from the outside who you really respect comes in, you tend to pay more attention.
He had those numbers a week ago at halftime, and Hammock added 6 points and 9 rebounds. So at the center position, he had 10 points and 13 rebounds, even with O'Neal in foul difficulty. Reese keeping it alive for Tennessee. And a foul committed by Lanier Burns. Steve Rivers doing a pretty good job since coming back into the game after Wade Houston sat him down.
Another real fine screen, this time by Curry, but as the ball is missed there, you see Rivers just jumps over everybody. Reese keeps it alive. Rivers gets at it again. He's fouled by Burns, but that's real good work on the offensive boards by Tennessee.
Skip pass way too strong from Price to Wiseman.
I don't really know where Price was throwing that ball. Wiseman was coming around the screen to the top of the key, wasn't even looking for the pass. Zigged when he should have zagged or something.
Hammock right on cue. Or could he be the Swin-nator of the 90s? I mean, Bill Walton had him. He gets his first two. 42-34.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Curry just screened the heck out of Piku.
Jay Price.
That's two.
Just inside the three-point line. That's the first hoop for Jay. LSU's lead is 6. Tennessee not going away. Hansen. Oh, and neither is he. He's hit 3 straight three-pointers. He has 14 in the game.
Now, Tennessee, the last few trips, has been playing that 1-3 with a chaser, playing zone except on Hansen. How can he get that shot off?
Wiseman over Hammock.
Well, I tell you, you better come in shape if you're going to play LSU. They really pushed the ball into the offensive end.
Singleton fell down. Hansen was going to shoot, was forced to pass off. Michael Curry picks up the foul.
Singleton had some help going to the floor. He got bounced.
He really did.
Jay Price really nailed him as he set the screen.
Allen Houston coming back into the game. You notice with Jay Price leaving the game, Wade Houston took time with O'Neal out to give Allen Houston a little bit of a breather.
Here you see Price trying to fight through the screen. Boom. That's got a block right there.
Johnny Majors would have loved it. He needs more of those blocks. Hammock trying to keep it alive. Curry clears for the Volunteers. Reese with a pull-up.
I don't know that you want Reese shooting that particular shot on the break. If Allen Houston is going to shoot it, that's fine, but I don't know that Reese should be shooting that jumper off the break. Wade Houston was able to give Allen Houston a long rest, and his team stayed in the basketball game. It's a 7-point game right now. Hammock is going to come out. Once again, he does a fine job in relief of O'Neal.
Yeah, and boy, does that make Dale Brown feel good about his options as the season presses on. Tennessee staying right with LSU on the boards. Not as many rebounds to get because both teams shooting well from three-point range.
Absolutely. Wiseman matched up man-to-man against Hansen. Everybody else playing zone.
Shaquille fouled prior to the stall. They will count the hoop. Wally Tanner will give O'Neal credit for the basket. And Curry gets his third.
Wade Houston not very happy with that call. If you're in the act of shooting, it's a foul. Now, Curry's been pushing him since O'Neal got into position there. I think that could be a pretty good call. It just depends on when it was ruled that he fouled. There's a foul. There's another one. Depends on which one of those fouls he called.
You talk to Dale Brown, he'll tell you that he's fouled pretty consistently.
I don't know that Dale could be considered the most objective of observers.
48-38, LSU has ballooned its lead back to double digits.
A good lobbyist, but I don't know that objective.
Wiseman. That's a clear-out foul against Singleton with the elbow. Tennessee will get it back. Don't forget, coming up next Tuesday, Dan Bonner will be joined by Wayne Larrabee for the Kentucky-Auburn game, and Bob Carpenter and Larry Connolly with Kansas and K-State. Always a great intrastate rivalry in the Big 8 Conference. Boy, what a big win tonight for Coach Harrington in Colorado. Knocking off Danny Nee's team Only their second loss of the year at Nebraska.
Run, a nice job to keep the ball alive. That's an offensive foul. No, it's a walk.
He's having a good time, though, isn't he?
Okay, I'm going to stop officiating. I thought once Pugh shoots the ball, O'Neal can't grab it, but look at him keep it alive. Just plays volleyball up there. Grabs the ball and gets called for a walk. He lifted that pivot foot before there was any contact, so that was a good call.
You were looking for verticality there, weren't you?
I don't know what I was looking.
Houston fouled from three-point range by Griggs, and that is Sean Griggs' third. And Brown will be forced to go to the pine to get relief. He'll want Sean Griggs in the second half.
Last couple of trips for Tennessee, the outside shooting has deserted them, and they've stayed in this basketball game on the strength of their perimeter game. So they can't afford to have a drought. At one point in this game, when they got behind, LSU threw a 14-0 run at them. They missed 10 straight shots. You might get away with that once in a game, but you can't do it more than that.
Allen Houston at the line. And he will get three because he was fouled from three-point range.
Now you talk about Jekyll and Hyde, Tim. This Tennessee team shoots almost 82% from the free throw line on the road, but they're under 70% at home. Wade Houston, very discouraged their last game against Auburn. They shot only 17 of 31 from the free throw line. Allen Houston makes 3 in a row right there and lost the game by 4 points. That's time left in the half.
He has 16. Does Allen Houston. John Saunders standing by with scores and highlights.
Man-to-man defense for Tennessee. They're trying to extend it. See if they can't stop them and get another bucket before halftime.
Shot clock only 3 seconds in differential.
Pugh with the basketball, of course. Very good at the penetration. Allen Houston matched up against Pugh. In fact, it's not man-to-man. They're still playing that 1-3 with a chaser. Here's the chaser right here, Wiseman. That's the guy he's chasing.
Hanson. And yes, the bank is open late in Knoxville for a 9:30 tilt.
That's unbelievable. You can't play much better defense than Wiseman did right there.
It only counted for a deuce. It's a 9-point LSU lead. John Saunders coming right up at halftime.
It's time for the Coca-Cola WIBA game.
America braces for 1991. The sins of the 80s have come due. Now more than ever, a worried nation turns its eyes to HBO, where 1991 is gonna be great. There'll be uncut laughter, unbridled passion, outrageous specials, socially acceptable violence, and the biggest box office hits on television. Yes, HBO in 91, a ray of light in an otherwise yuck year.
Prodigy. You gotta get this thing. I don't know how I did without it. And I'm doing this stocks. I never played stocks in my life. You want to know about your bank? Boom, boom, bingo. I'm making money. You're making money. With this finger, John. This finger.
Yes, it saves me a lot of time.
I mean, you can even get the scores before the paper does. Well, the game's in progress. What's that? Baseball scores? We got it.
Prodigy is the online service that connects your computer to news, shopping, sports, and now an encyclopedia. All for only $12.95 per month.
All right. Prodigy. It's a great service. You gotta get this thing. Prodigy. Stores everywhere.
Okay, so I paid a little more to stay in this motel. But hey, it's got this lovely pool.
Why pay for a pool you can't use? Next time, hit the roof. Red Roof Inns.
You know, my mom says you can get a really bad burn on a day like this.
Right now, for every night you stay at a Red Roof Inn, we'll give you something very special to drive away with when you check out. A brand new Lincoln. Get $5 cash back for every night you stay through February 2nd.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball, LSU versus Tennessee, is brought to you by Dodge. For performance, quality, safety, and value, welcome home, America. And by Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Welcome back. LSU leading Tennessee by 9 at halftime in the SEC. We'll return there in a moment. It's the second half of our doubleheader. The first half was in the Big 8. Number 14, Nebraska, one of the surprise teams in the nation. For Danny Nee, had to go on the road to face the Colorado Buffaloes, a team that's surprising as well. Bernie Bickerstaff doing some scouting. Farmer behind the back pass to Bietkowski for the layup. Huskers are up by 1. House guess? A rude house guess. The big block there. Stevie Wise in the break. Blows past Ramos for the layup, 34-31. Danny Nee's Huskers lead by 1 at halftime. Sean Vandiver, triple team, pulls up with the fake, gets the layup and the foul. The Buffaloes within 2. Then House Guest sees the welcome mat and goes to the door. 14 points, 14 boards. Stevie Wise on the break, in for the jam and the foul. And 86-69 is the final. Colorado, the Buffaloes with the big victory. First loss in 15 games for the Huskers, ending that 14-game winning streak. Buffalo's off to their best start in 10 years and over 500 for the first time in 11 years in the Big 8. Elsewhere, Southwest Louisiana playing number 13 Oklahoma. 10 minutes left in the game, just a 3-point contest. Sooners averaging 105 points a game, well on their way there as well. Alaska Fairbanks, no match for Missouri, 125-72. Doug Smith, 33 points and 12 rebounds in the game. Now, Notre Dame, it's been a roller coaster year for Digger Phelps, starting off 2-7, but now he's won 5 of his last 7 games. At home tonight, facing Rutgers. That's the Rocket Man. Will he turn pro? Well, certainly not as a hoop player, but Tim Singleton with a nice pass to Tower for 2. And then it's Kevin Ellery with the drive on the double team. Ellery, 9 points in the first half. The Irish were up by 4 at halftime. In the second half, though, the Scarlet Knights take advantage. LaFonso Ellis, of course, is not playing, sitting out with academic problems. And Keith Hughes with the rebound and the follow. And Rutgers comes back in the second half to win the game. 62-52 is the final. The Irish falling to 7-10 on the season. Keith Hughes, 25 points and 7 rebounds. St. Joseph's of Pennsylvania up against Temple. The Owls win it. 23 points for Mick Kilgore. 73-56 is the final in this one. The Owls now 127-11 at McGonigal Hall. Stay with us. We'll be back with more in just a moment. We're at halftime in the SEC. LSU with the lead. We'll come back with Big East highlights in a moment.
This company basketball game is a great idea. Yeah. It'll build togetherness, friendship, team spirit. So let's have some fun. Oh. You're all over me. Tell me please go to the ball, please. Stop. If you found me again, you're going to be looking for the ball.
There are a lot of ways to improve business morale. The best, the on-time delivery of Federal Express.
Mr. Triola? What? Your package from Tokyo. Have a good one.
Thank you. Federal Express. Absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Change is coming, it's understood. Happening all over my neighborhood. Never gonna go for anything less. Gonna change for the better. Change for the better.
Call Pizza Hut Delivery now for the pepperoni pizza deal. Get as many medium pepperoni pizzas as you want for just $5.99 each. So what are you waiting for?
Gonna change for the better. Change for the better. Pizza Hut Delivery, making it great.
Die Hard, America's most trusted replacement battery. Its breakthrough design gives you more power and more confidence from the start. Sears Die Hard, more power when you need it most.
Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Caramello. Chocolate and flowing caramel. Caramello.
How's your flight?
Uneventful.
Okay, can you send that down to finance now? You know. Okay, hold on, I'm sending it.
Strange. What?
More in line with Chicago. Where'd you find all these computer people, anyway?
What are you talking about?
I've got 24 PCs in my department, and my people hardly touch them.
You still don't get it, do you?
Get what?
You don't have the wrong people. You have the wrong computers.
LSU up by 9 at halftime at Tennessee. The SEC second half still to come. Let's check in the Big East now. We'll start Connecticut at St. John's. The Huskies ranked number 19 in the nation, but a team that's struggling. Coming into the game, losing 3 straight conference games. Now they have to face Lou Carnesecca and his Sweaters. Terrence Mullins loses control here and face first into the padding. That's why it's padded back there. Connecticut frustrated. They press. Jason Buchanan to Werdan. 31-27 in the second half, showing their frustration. Sellers and Chucky Sproling shoving back and forth. The Redmen get it going. Buchanan with the three-pointer. 9-point lead. David Kane then stripping John Gwynn. Just takes the ball away. Jim Calhoun taking a technical foul. Thought there was a foul call on the play. Rod Sellers then off the break as Connecticut starts to get back into it. But Billy Singleton fakes. Three-point play. 8-point lead for the Redmen. Robert Werdan with a finger roll. He's fouled as well. And St. John's wins it by 3. It really wasn't this close. Connecticut had just 22 points at halftime. Robert Werdan with 19 points. The Huskies have now lost 4 consecutive games. St. John's now 5-2 in the Big East. Elsewhere in the Big East, at the Silvio Conte Forum on the campus of Boston College, Villanova University was in there to face Boston College and the Eagles, a team that really had looked good in some games this year, but can't seem to pick up the victories. Rolly Massimino, cool, and he should be, but Malcolm Huckabee misses. Great tip in by Hinton for the Eagles. Boston College up early. Gerard Abram, great save to Howard Isley, and Isley gets the 2. Rolly Massimino sees his team struggling on the road. The Eagles are up by 4 at halftime. In the second half, though, the Cats take over. Mark Dowdell with the steal. Chris Walker to Lance Miller. Miller just has to take it to the hole. The Cats lead is now at 5. 45-42. Chris Walker with a three-pointer. 48-42. They go on a 30-12 run in the second half, and Rolly has reason to applaud. Villanova wins 72-59. Mark Dowdell with 18 points in the game. Chris Walker had 13. Jim O'Brien 1-8 now against Villanova lifetime. And the Eagles have lost 6 consecutive games. Their only win against Providence. St. Peter's and Seton Hall non-conference game. The Hall wins, but only by 5. 67-62. Anthony Avent had 21 points in this game. Stay with us. The second half of Shaquille's show is still to come in the SEC as LSU has the lead over Tennessee. But right now, here's a look at some more scores on this Tuesday night.
Do you know what open-end mutual funds are?
The Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Money and Markets tells you in clear, simple English.
Do you know how to spot trends in stocks?
And what stock options are?
And zero coupon bonds?
And the difference between Treasury bills and Treasury notes?
Everything you want to know about the sometimes baffling world of money and investing is in this remarkable 120-page book. And now it's yours free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Call now and you can have 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal and this valuable 120-page Guide to Understanding Money and Markets. That's 13 weeks of the journal for the news and ideas you need every business day. And this guide free, which tells you everything you want to know about money and markets, all for only $37, a 24% savings off the newsstand price. Call now, toll-free, 800-642-7400. That's 800-642-7400 for today's Wall Street Journal.
Back to the game in a moment, but first another quick check of the scoreboard. Oklahoma on their way to victory. About 6 minutes to go in this game, but they're only up 3 against Southwest Louisiana, 92-89. We'll keep you updated. Boston University in Maryland, Terps a winner. Matt Rowe, the former Syracuse guard, had 19 points in that one. Texas at Texas Tech, 83-65. Loxley Colley with 26 points in the game. And South Florida and South Alabama. The Jaguars are now 4-1 in the South Sun Belt, rather. Cesar Portillo had 14 points and 6 rebounds. Radenko Dobros had a shot to win the game at the buzzer and could not hit the shot. A reminder, tomorrow we have another doubleheader comes your way. Number 9, Duke against NC State at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And then to the Big East, Pitt and Providence. Number 17 against the Providence Friars. The Friars a loser to Pitt earlier this season. Keep it right here. Back with more in just a moment. The SEC continues. LSU with a 9-point lead at halftime over Tennessee. The second half still to come.
The new RCA 8mm camcorder weighs less than 2 pounds.
It's so small and light, he'll take it everywhere. That way, he won't miss a thing. It also has a super fast lens for great color and clarity in almost any light.
Come on, give me the slippers.
Like we say, you won't miss a darn thing. And when you go from one subject to the next, the infrared focusing system focuses instantly. The new RCA 8mm camcorder. Another way we're changing entertainment again.
The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. Venus de Milo lacks arms. Chickens have no lips. Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste and dry brewed for no aftertaste. So when it comes to refreshment, nothing's missing.
Here, Joe. Careful, Mom. You could break real easily.
Hey, everybody, so what's the concern?
A whole meeting about springs and struts? Those details make a difference in a smooth ride.
Neptune looks a little wobbly up there.
The whole thing's wobbly.
Now, with these kind of meetings, we work better together, we build better cars. It's that simple.
Everybody here is working together. Everybody has a responsibility for the final product. That's why our cars have gotten so good.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball, LSU versus Tennessee, is brought to you by Nike, who reminds you to just do it.
At halftime, LSU's lead over Tennessee is 9 here in the Southeastern Conference Game 2 of Big 8 SEC Tuesday. Tim Brando along with Dan Bonner, happy to have you with us. And if Tennessee is to play quality defense, they'll have to play it much as they did the last 9 seconds of the first half, yet Mike Hansen was still able to load up from the perimeter.
Quality defense doesn't always result in a defensive stop. Mike Hansen, who has 16 points in the first half, this is just a tremendous job right here. Lang Wiseman is all over him. I guess if you're Tennessee, now Banks that ball in, and Horst, you got to call that. If you're Tennessee, you've got to be glad that he was on the three-point line, so it didn't count as 3.
The good news for Tennessee defensively is they have held down Shaquille O'Neal, but then again, Alabama did that a week ago.
Well, of course, Shaquille O'Neal does many things besides just play defense, or besides play offense, and defense is one of the main things. And for Tennessee, they've done a pretty good job getting the ball over Shaquille O'Neal. And this is one of the reasons why. This is Tennessee's Shaq stick. And what they do is they hold this up to try to extend the size of their players. And it looks like Allen Houston, who has 15 points, and Lang Wiseman, who has 16, utilized this very well. They've been getting the ball over Shaq pretty good.
I think the operative word here is bandaged hand. You usually need some medical care after you go against Shaquille O'Neal.
This is a sorry-looking hand. I would certainly think Tennessee, if they were going to have a hand, they could have a better one than
this. That's right. Halftime statistics will show you that this game has been a three-point fest for both clubs. Tennessee must shoot that well, and LSU proving that they can do it from the perimeter when O'Neal is held down.
O'Neal only has 4 points at halftime. Excuse me, 7 points at halftime, but Hansen, 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point line, is just doing a tremendous job. Griggs even has the three-pointer in the first half. Griggs is 5 of 7 from the field. Hansen is 6 of 8.
Allen Houston, and this is something to remember, being checked by Sean Griggs. Griggs has 3 fouls. When he had to leave the game, he's also hobbled a little bit with that left leg of his that he injured early on. With him out of the game, Houston ran roughshod offensively against LSU.
There's Pugh again. Pugh, who scored 6 points in the first half, mainly with penetrating moves. That time penetrates in and dumps the ball to Singleton. There you get a look at TJ Pugh. His penetration has really hurt the defense of Tennessee.
Lang Wiseman.
Oh, what a play. Alive. Oh, he tipped it to Rivers and then got it back.
17 for Wiseman, quietly getting it done, along with backcourt mate Allen Houston. O'Neal forced really to throw up an errant shot by Tennessee's defense.
That's good defense to keep him away from the basket, but it's a break for Tennessee, Tim. You saw who knocked that ball out of bounds. Singleton was all alone for the rebound. The ball just slid out of his hand.
This is a 7-10 team, 1-5 in the Southeastern Conference. It is really playing its best to hang in there. Goodson loses it to O'Neal.
I don't know why you'd want to go at him. I just don't know that.
Houston defensively gets it done, but there's Singleton for more of that garbage that he will collect and collect big time during the course of the game.
LSU playing very well in transition. Wade Houston is up off the bench telling Goodson to pass the ball back out.
Over O'Neal.
All right, maybe he wasn't telling him to pass the ball back out. What do I know?
Well, he didn't put it on the floor. He put it in the air. 52-45. Goodson gets called with a push.
And that's an excellent call. Goodson actually had his arms around O'Neal. Wade Houston telling him to keep his hands up. Now watch where Goodson's going to put his hands and his arms. Right there, when he's got his arms underneath the arms of Shaquille O'Neal, the official's going to call that a foul every time.
O'Neal, Goodson got in his way, but there's Griggs. And it goes off his ankle out of bounds to Tennessee.
Tennessee has done a nice job forcing O'Neal to miss. They've gotten 2 good breaks as LSU has had offensive rebounds and let them slip out of bounds. Tennessee's going to have to figure a way to cover up that offensive rebound. Boy, Goodson is really hurting some people on the screen.
Yeah. Time he got in the way of Griggs, and that left Allen Houston open.
Poor Griggs, he got picked off by Goodson on one side, then a double screen on the other side. He was just overmatched that time. Tennessee within 4.
O'Neal fouled by Rivers.
I think Rivers was trying to get the foul on the first shot by O'Neal. Didn't get the whistle. Made sure that time. Good screen by Singleton. Singleton screened Goodson away, and even though he did a nice job getting through, Rivers slapped him once, that time slaps him again. And I tell you what, with a guy as big and strong as this fella, if you're going to hit him, take his arms off so he doesn't get it up there for the dunk.
Seven points tonight. You see his season average, and he'll get those in bunches. He did a week ago. There are games when he'll be very quiet in the first half and then turn it on and get to another level late in a game.
Tennessee doing a tremendous job defensively, though, Tim, keeping the ball away from him in easy scoring position.
Yeah, well, you really got to believe that Tennessee is in the right position to pull the upset.
They're certainly playing with a great deal of confidence, Tim.
And Allen Houston becomes a much bigger factor later in this game. O'Neal, there's the dish to Pugh, and he sees the court so well.
Get focused on O'Neal. He's a great passer. Good cut by Pugh.
Off the dribble, Houston, he feels it. He's felt it all night. 22 for Houston. He may need that many more in the remaining 16:48. O'Neal. A little woofing between he and Gannon Goodson now.
Well, Goodson's really been banging on it. This is really adding injury to insult right here. He's going to get the dunk, and then he's going to hang on the rim and sort of bounce off Goodson's head. That's just a real quick move there. Now, boom, he gets the knee right on top of Goodson's head. Goodson's done a nice job inside.
That's what they expect from him.
Allen Houston is hurt. Allen Houston has just turned his ankle.
He's up quickly. That may be an equalizer for Griggs. He's been hobbling. Now so too is Houston. Wade Houston giving a little lip to Wally Tanner. He wants protection for his star, just as does Dale Brown.
There he is. There's that screen. You see O'Neal come out and try to cover him a little bit on that screen?
Wiseman with hang time. Lane Wiseman. Ronnie Reese with the steal. A 3-on-2. And a foul against Singleton.
obviously is not pleased with what he's seeing, but Tennessee has come in here. They didn't want O'Neal to beat them. Thus far, O'Neal hasn't.
Look at that. From the floor this half, they are cold. But Allen Houston is warming up to the tune of 25 points.
Tennessee leads, Tim,
by 1 for the first time since we were a minute deep.
Dale Brown's in trouble if Tennessee's not going to miss any shots.
Hanson. O'Neal is fouled by Rivers.
Goodson really battling hard against O'Neal, but with a player with this kind of ability, working hard isn't always the only thing. This is a great block out right here, but O'Neal just gets the ball. Rivers commits the foul. Watch O'Neal get in position. Just because you're big doesn't mean you get rebounds. You have to work for it, and O'Neal working very, very hard right there.
Shaquille can get high, but right now the Volunteers are Rocky Top. They have the lead by 1, their first lead of this half.
The smallest particle known to man is the quark. Quarks throw a party and form an electron. Electrons form molecules, and molecules form things like spatulas and platypuses. Sometimes the fastest and lightest molecules get together and form a cheetah, or a rocket, or Jerry Rice. Under ideal conditions, they form the Nike Air Trainer TW Lite, the lightest, fastest Nike cross-training shoe in the world. So you can wait 12 billion years for these to occur randomly in nature, or buy a pair pre-assembled today. Isn't science wonderful?
I am a car maker. Making cars friendlier to the environment is something I think about a lot.
One answer is more fuel-efficient cars.
We're also working on alternative fuels, like our Impact, designed to be the first really practical electric car with enough zip for the California freeways.
25 GM cars today put out the same amount of tailpipe emissions as one car from 1970. Now that's progress.
How much insulation do you have in your attic? 3 inches? 6 inches? Well, the Department of Energy recommends R38 for most American homes, which is equivalent to a foot of Owens Corning pink fiberglass. So grab a ruler and measure your attic insulation. Then get rolling, because 12 inches of pink fiberglass can help you get a foothold on your energy bills.
ESPN's NCAA basketball continues with ACC Big East Wednesday. Duke and North Carolina State to be followed by Pittsburgh and Providence tomorrow night. Well, Dan, at the top of the telecast, we documented that Wade Houston's team must shoot well from outside. And look at the backcourt, what they've done so far tonight, and Wiseman has penetrated for much of his points.
Wiseman really doing a nice job. Allen Houston, obviously you can't do much better than that from three-point range. Tennessee has not missed a field goal in the second half. Now, let's see what we got here. A little discussion with Curry and O'Neal. Tennessee 7 for 7 from the field in the second half. Real big run.
TJ Pugh gets the roll.
Tennessee has done such a good job keeping Shaquille O'Neal out of the basketball game, but these other guys from LSU keep coming up to sting them. Man-to-man defense.
Piku gets the foul against Allen Houston.
And that's great pressure on the ball by Piku. Piku covering up Houston once Houston picks up his dribble, and TJ Pugh really working against Wiseman.
Boy, this is not the only Louisiana team that can play well. Look at Southwest Louisiana. Marty Fletcher's club out of the American South Conference, along with Tim Floyd of the University of New Orleans, now ranked in the top 25. Good clubs in the American South. That game now tied between Oklahoma and Southwest Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns playing well. John Saunders will keep us posted.
And that foul is against Singleton, Tim, and this game is beginning to turn a little bit nasty. These guys are going at one another physically.
Rivers operating at the point.
If O'Neal is going to come out and help against those screens, the screener has to roll to the basket.
Wiseman. Curry. Fouled by O'Neal. That's the first foul on Shaquille O'Neal.
Wiseman sort of surprised to find himself open here. You can see O'Neal and Singleton and Pugh, all of them just looking at the ball. You got to turn and find your man and block him out. You can see Curry flying in.
When you jump to the ball as well as both Singleton and O'Neal do, you forget about that sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. When you're 7'1" and you weigh almost 300 pounds and can get off the floor, you tend to forget that every once in a while. But Curry had a good run at it.
This is a young man that was diagnosed with high blood pressure, coming off problems with a stress fracture to his right tibia, trying to play against Shaquille O'Neal with the help of Gannon Goodson tonight.
Missed 2 big free throws right there. Hansen. Boy, that guy has been there for LSU tonight in a big way. Piku trying to keep the ball away from Allen Houston.
People underestimate how quickly Hansen can trigger that shot, don't they?
Wiseman. He won't wait either. Once again, Curry picked off Pugh. O'Neal doesn't come out. Wiseman took a little while to wind up on that shot.
O'Neal draws the foul off the drop step down at the baseline.
O'Neal can make that move so quickly, Tim.
Curry has his 4th foul.
Ball's going to come into an end. Watch how quickly he makes that move. He gets that hand out there and throws it across. Wade Houston is up on his bench telling the referees that he thought that was an offensive foul. Once O'Neal catches the ball down there, Tim, I think Curry's got to give him just a little space, because if O'Neal can make the body contact, then he can spin and Curry can't recover. There's a foul on Piku. Down on the inside, you body up to the guy until he catches the ball, but when he catches the ball, you got to break contact so you can move your feet and anticipate that. If you're right up against him, then he has the opportunity to make the spin move. Hammock coming in. We're going to play Twin Towers now. O'Neal and Hammock in the ball game at the same time. Singleton going out. This is interesting.
Yeah, it is. Maybe the first time that we've seen this lineup for Dale Brown all year. Obviously, we haven't seen all of the games. But in the Southeastern Conference, this is the first time both Hammock and Shaquille O'Neal have been into the game.
Wiseman. You could see from that high view right there that Tennessee not intimidated at all. What did they do? They posted up.
Hansen high arching off the window.
One guy went flying by, just composes himself and shoots it over the other guy.
For the record, Hammock went high post and O'Neal low post.
Notice O'Neal is staying in the colored area of the lane. That's a tough shot right there. That is not a good shot by Milson.
TJ Pugh.
Oh, great hustle. Great hustle.
TJ Pugh may be hurt. He is. They'll have to stop play. It appears he pulled his groin.
Or something to that effect, yeah. This is just great hustle. They bang into one another there. That's where Pugh gets hurt. And Price is able to pick up the ball. Tennessee really playing with a lot of confidence and intensity. You can see the screens right there. That's not a screen. That's a mugging. From that angle, you can clearly see what Tennessee was trying to do.
Michael Curry is out of the game. He has 5.
That's 5. Now watch this right here. There's the screen by Milson. And here comes Curry with the screen. Just leans in. But that's the kind of thing that LSU on the perimeter has faced all night. Now Curry fouls out of the basketball games, but you could see on that particular replay, Hansen got popped twice. If he just holds his position, then it's a good screen and they get loose for the jump shot.
Well, remember this about Curry. He was not playing tentatively on the defensive end with 4 fouls.
No. With 13 minutes left, he's gone, and Goodson checks back in. O'Neal gets called again. That's his second.
And that's not a very good decision by O'Neal. O'Neal has shown tonight that he does not need to keep the ball away from Goodson on the inside. If Goodson's going to try to turn to the basket, he's got a pretty good shot at blocking it or make Goodson pass the ball.
Goodson only with one deuce.
That's what Goodson's been doing all night, is setting a screen. And you see that time O'Neal came out. Goodson had a lane to the basket and didn't take it.
Lang Wiseman lost that one, and Pugh feeds Hansen. And Hansen misses the layup. Wow. Gannon Goodson comes away with it. LSU's lead is 2. 12:40 remaining.
Price thought better of it.
Milson in the game. Singleton checking in.
Nice job. Goodson can come out there to be the outlet. There's real good pressure on the ball by LSU on the perimeter, but if Goodson will just come out, he can be the outlet.
Allen Houston fouled by Piku. John Piku has picked up 3,
but we should notice that Allen Houston has not been able to do what he did do when Griggs had to leave the game in the first half. Piku up to the 10 has picked up the 3 fouls.
That was a real good play by Allen Houston. But not too deep. He took it in just far enough to draw the foul, but to avoid Shaquille O'Neal.
Allen Houston grew up in Louisville. His dad, of course, coach at Ballard High School. He played there. He watched a lot of guards for Denny Crum post up the opposition's guards while growing up in Louisville, Kentucky.
Saw some pretty good ones. This is a big-time player having a big-time game.
Were he playing for a team with a winning record, he would be getting big-time press.
And he's going to go out of the basketball game right now. He needs a little blow. He's not going to be out very long. Rivers comes in the ballgame. In the first half, they did this, and they were able to stay with LSU. This is an important stretch of the ballgame for Tennessee.
And he's in a television commercial zone as well. Singleton gets the jam. So he gets the extra time because he knows on the next dead ball, he'll get a timeout that will not be charged.
Wiseman feeds Carlos Groves. Jay Price.
And that's a 3. Good ball movement. Good ball movement.
His first 3 of the game. And there
Serge Hansen again.
He just won't stop pumping. 70-68. Tigers by 2. Hansen has 24. Wiseman for 3. Wow. Hey, let's just sit back and enjoy it. Jordan time for Dale Brown to see. Hansen again. Oh, is he a silencer tonight?
He missed the layup, and then he goes out and hits the 3 against tough defensive pressure.
We're tied at 73. Wiseman. Price.
These guys are going to drop over from exhaustion. This pace is unbelievable. Goodson is really breathing the ball.
Piku is not a shooter. Dale Brown did not like that.
Nice pass!
Would have counted had it gone. It did not.
And it was not going in anyhow. That ball was on its way out.
I think both Tennessee and LSU are happy to see a dead ball situation coming up.
Tennessee really running well on the fast break. The pass to Groves. Good stop. Pass with the left hand. Wiseman is going to get fouled right there by Piku. That's an excellent fast break. There you can see the end of the play. Rivers, he's really pumped up.
Wiseman with 27 in the game.
Allen Houston sitting at the scores table, ready to come in for Wiseman. And see, this is where Tennessee hurt themselves against Auburn in their last home game. They need to make these. They've done such a great job shooting the ball with guys in their face. They got to make the free ones.
LSU leading the SEC against Tennessee in last place in the SEC. Not tonight.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to more businesses than anyone else in the business? Who did you think?
When I bite into a York peppermint patty, I get the sensation Arctic air is swooping in from the north, and a major snowstorm is sweeping the nation. Icebergs in California?
York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
I see you've selected the ultimate adventure. Vehicle preference?
Toyota 4x4, the black one.
Excellent choice.
Oh no, we've lost another one.
A 1991 Toyota 4x4. The ultimate adventure.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to experience the Bavarian Alps, you don't have to go there to find out. Just head for Vail, Colorado and the Sun and Alp Hotel. And you'll get a taste of champagne powder snow and the richest Bavarian cream pie this side of Innsbruck. So if you go, get your skis waxed up and put your Visa card down. Because at the Sun and Alp, they take fun seriously, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
This game was tied at 101s with 38 seconds left, but Marcus Stokes hits the game winner with 4 seconds left. Southwest Louisiana a winner 103-101 over Oklahoma. Back to the game.
Thank you, John. Boy, the Ragin' Cajuns, what a huge win for that team. Not since Dwight Bolamar, perhaps, if they had a victory of that magnitude. You speak of great shooters from the outside, like a Bo Lamar of the early 70s. Mike Hansen certainly getting it done for Dale Brown.
This guy, Hansen, has been unbelievable tonight. Look at that 3-point, 7 for 9. Are you kidding me? Tennessee's not doing too badly.
Well, Houston and Wiseman have more in their arsenal. O'Neal trying to keep it alive. Gannon Goodson brings it down. Boy, has he played well.
That's a good move by LSU to have Singleton penetrate down inside. They almost got the shot, and then they almost got the tip. But almost isn't going to help them.
Houston rejected by O'Neal, and Piku stepped on the baseline. It goes back to Tennessee.
With Griggs out of the ball game, he's still hobbled. Houston really has an advantage against Piku. Now watch him come here, but see, look how quickly O'Neal reacts to this. You figure Houston's there, right? Wrong. It's hard to post up Piku when you got O'Neal inside. Boy, did he cover a lot of ground to get that block.
Houston again. The iron untied.
Coming off the screen. Hasn't missed too many of those this season.
But they could have gone up by more than 2 possessions for the first time in the game. Their lead only 3.
Boy, O'Neal just really gave Goodson a pop in the face, but Goodson, you can see he reacts. Boy, he's played well.
That was an incidental pop, but when you got elbows like that, it'll happen from time to time.
I mean, those are big elbows, and incidental or not, that
it hurts.
Shakes the cobwebs loose. That's a good screen. Now Houston's in trouble here.
That's one of those you can't put in the shots altered because there was no shot. Hansen.
And is Allen Houston down? I think he got his head banged.
Yes,
Yes, he did. Onto the court. He's holding his forehead there. As the scramble for the ball, I think Piku fell on top of it.
Concern for the coach and the father.
That's a tough kid right there.
Great young man.
Houston takes it in here. Now he's in big trouble. Goodson is nowhere to be found. The ball gets knocked away as Houston goes down right there. See how his head just bangs on the court.
Now, clearly that was caused by the floor itself.
Well, now you got to hope. It looks like he landed right on that cheekbone there. But he can't stay out of the ball game very long.
When you realize what kind of career Allan Houston could have with the right kind of talent around him, it says a lot for him to help his dad get this program off the ground.
We talked about Goodson and O'Neal and the battle that they've been having. Right there, that big elbow right in the throat. Goodson leaning on him, Oh, here's... oh, hello.
Rights and lefts with the elbow.
And you can see O'Neal turn around. He's looking for the referee right there.
TJ Few picks up the foul.
What happened right there is Reese went and screened Griggs. Now, when they screen against somebody other than O'Neal, looks like Dale Brown has decided that he's going to have his team double team that screen. That's a pretty good idea. Few just reached in and fouled.
Checking his notes, and he's remained rather composed through this Tennessee run here in the second half.
I think you just may be thinking that, Tim, as Wiseman makes that. He's not sitting right next to us like he was last week, where he could hear everything he was saying.
That was a much bigger victory a week ago at Alabama than most would think. The last time he had won in Tuscaloosa was in 1981. His first Final Four team accomplished that feat. Timeout. Tennessee's lead is 2. Dale Brown has a job yet to do. The lead is 3.
The most acclaimed nature documentary in the history of television is now available on video cassette. Time Life Video and WNET announce the Nature Video Library. The New York Times hails it as television at its most impressive. Your first video adventure takes you to Hawaii, islands of the fire goddess. Hawaii is a land of amazing contrasts. This is Hawaii as few have seen it. Begin your video adventure with Hawaii at the low introductory price of only $9.99 plus shipping and handling. Other exciting video cassettes will follow at only $19.99. Keep only those you want. Cancel at any time.
To order your Nature Video Library, call 1-800-688-4700. That's 1-800-688-4700. Or send just $9.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to Hawaii, P.O. Box 1880, Department 10, Alexandria, Virginia.
On guard for ACC Big East Wednesday. Duke's Bobby Hurley meets NC State's Fire and Ice combo of Corsi and Monroe. Then Pitt tries to stop Eric Murdoch of Providence. Wednesday night, live on ESPN.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Mees. Join Gary Miller and me for SportsCenter right after the game. We'll have all the rest of the college basketball headlines. We'll have a live report from Tampa just 5 days before Super Bowl 25. That's on SportsCenter. Coming your way on ESPN right after the game.
Our storyline, Knoxville, Tennessee, LSU, 9 of 15 from three-point range. Mike Hansen with 29, and Lang Wiseman having a career night. And as a team, Tennessee 12 of 20 with a footnote for Tennessee. Allan Houston injured and out of the game for the moment, shaking the cobwebs after hitting the hardwood very hard.
He got his cheek bounced off the floor. He looks okay.
By the way, he is past the 1,000-point mark in his career, second only to Bernard King in getting it done that quickly.
Groves now in the ballgame pushing against O'Neal. Goodson is out. Wade Houston is up, claiming that O'Neal is elbowing in there. Groves is elbowing a little bit himself, though. He just gave Griggs a shot going by. This isn't too physical. Groves fouled him right there.
That could be a three-point play.
There's nothing really Groves can do. Groves is only about 6'6". There's no way. He's got to try to keep O'Neal as far from the basket as he can. There he's leaning against him. But now as O'Neal is going to cut across the lane and catch the ball, Groves now has to stop that leaning. You can see that forearm out there pushing him off. If O'Neal's going to get the ball that close to the basket, it's going to be impossible for Groves to stop him. And so what Groves has to do is he goes out of the game now. Goodson's back in. Allen Houston's coming back in. The defense, that time Groves has to make sure you don't give him a three-point play opportunity. You don't foul that.
The crowd on its feet quickly as Allen Houston re-enters the game.
And with Houston back in the game, Griggs is going to go out, and Piku's going to come back in because Griggs hobbled a little bit as they've really been having a tough time keeping up with Allen Houston.
O'Neal probably working much harder than he figured against a team that's deficiency was its inside game to get the 14 points that he does have tonight. We're tied at 78.
Well, Wiseman and Houston have certainly stepped up for Tennessee. Hansen having a great game for LSU, but down the stretch you need your big gun. We'll see what O'Neal can produce.
Wiseman loses his dribble. TJ Pugh caused it.
Wiseman has not been effective off the dribble. He's been effective moving without the ball off the screen. Good defense by LSU. They cut off his passing opportunities, made him dribble it.
LSU with a three-guard offense. Piku's shot won't fall.
Oh, don't throw it back into him.
O'Neal gets the foul.
Boy, Tennessee got away with one there. Once again, they saved the ball inbounds underneath the LSU basket. They lost. That kind of a move cost them a basket in the first half. Dale Brown that time doesn't get the break he's looking for. There's Reese saving the ball back inbounds. Goodson with some pretty good defense knocks it away from O'Neal, and then O'Neal falls on top of Price. Shaquille laying on the court looking very innocent, but he was not.
Renell Singleton, he's a guy that brings his lunch pail to the game. I mean, he's going to get bumped and bruised in almost every game he plays. We are tied at 78, 6:45 to play. Stay tuned, a lot more to come in this one.
Training, Toyota style. Now hit the shower. I love what you do for me, Toyota.
This is never gonna work. Hey, relax. Anybody can send them roses.
Excuse me, we didn't order these. Ian, what's this? Did they really expect us to call them?
I'm telling you. Hello.
Who guarantees overnight air delivery before 10:30 to the most places across the country? Who did you think?
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and one die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die-hard. More power when you need it most.
78 to 78, LSU and Tennessee after an official's timeout due to a clock malfunction. The 45-second clock on both ends had gone off for a short period of time. They've rectified that. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, coverage of the Australian Open Down Under continues. Steffi Graf already a loser. Jana Novotná coming away with a win. If you love tennis, you will enjoy it. The first of the Grand Slam in 1991. Cliff Drysdale, Mary Carrillo, and Fred Stoller to bring you all of that.
Price is going to the line for two, Tim. LSU has 10 fouls in the half now, so Price makes the first one. But from now on, for Tennessee, they'll be shooting two. Tennessee only has 8 team fouls, so there's still 1 to go there before LSU is in the automatic 2-shot opportunity.
Tennessee by a deuce.
Playing that 1-3 with a chaser. Price now chasing Hansen. Everybody else playing zone. Dropping off Piku, dropping off Pugh. Obviously guarding Hansen one-on-one and trying to find Singleton and O'Neal inside. There's a double screen for Hansen, and then Piku tried to screen. What a great job by Price.
Oh, and Gannon Goodson rejected it. The foul against Piku.
Piku sort of hid inside there, Tim. He tried to set the screen. Watch Price run through these screens. Now Piku has set a screen. Goodson's coming over. That's an excellent block shot. And then Piku's going to get the foul. Piku set the screen and then hit in there. There's Piku with the screen, sort of wanders in there. Wiseman is outside trying to help against Hansen. That's just a great play by Goodson. And boy, has he played well tonight.
Well, the freshman from Birmingham and Shades Valley High School really coming through tonight for Wade Houston's team. Timeout, LSU. Piku out of the game. That's 1 less player to check Allen Houston. And Sean Griggs already hobbled. Remember that in the closing moments of this game.
Well, it gets some interesting situation. That's what you send your kids to school for, I guess, to wear masks like that. Don't send them any more spending money, Mom and Dad. Dale Brown talking with his coaching staff. He does have a decision to make about how he wants to match up against Allen Houston. He decided to go with Piku. Piku did a very good job against Allen Houston. He has not had the 3-point barrage in the second half that he did in the first. Probably he's going to come back with Sean Griggs, but Griggs, with that little injury to his leg or his ankle, I wasn't able to move as effectively. Goodson's, when we come back from this timeout, Goodson is going to be going to the free throw line to shoot 2. Tennessee has played so well defensively tonight. You get a look at their bench. You wonder how long they can hold on. Yeah. Wade Houston obviously hoping for the next 6 minutes and 11 seconds.
One of the things that we should mention that LSU had a week ago against Alabama that they have not had tonight, the transition baskets, off the turnovers, points being created. They've scored only 2 points tonight in transition. And that's something that's been, with a team that has forced as many turnovers as LSU, a real catalyst, particularly in Southeastern Conference play.
Particularly in the second half, that's true, Tim. There you get a look and see that Tennessee's got all 3 of its timeouts, LSU with 2. Neither team has any fouls to give in terms of the 1-and-1. LSU still has, or Tennessee still has 1 foul to give before it's an automatic 2-shot opportunity. In the first half, LSU didn't get many points in transition, but a lot of times they were able to get down the court and get going offensively before Tennessee gets set. In this half, Tennessee's gotten back very well defensively. LSU hasn't gotten any easy opportunities.
The point distribution, tremendous in the backcourt for the Volunteers. They had to have it, but Tennessee's front court has done it defensively.
It takes a lot of things to win a basketball game, Tim. And when you talk about a basketball team, sometimes people forget about the fact that if you have 5 guys out there who can't do anything but score, you're not going to win very many games. Wade Houston's got some guys playing excellent roles tonight. That's great hustle. Wow. Ronnie Reese. And he goes down through the table right there. And he may be hurt, but what a great hustle play by Reese. Watch this. The guy's from LSU. O'Neal's taking his time. He doesn't know anybody's there. There's Reese coming over, batting it off his foot. What a great play.
To reach over that body and not commit the foul. That's what's tremendous about it.
I don't know that he ever touched the ball, Tim. He just bothered O'Neal enough that O'Neal wasn't able to pick it up. Great hustle. Wiseman and Houston trying to move off those screens. There's Griggs matched up against Houston. Wiseman. Pugh did a nice job getting over the screen that time. That was not an open jumper for Wiseman.
O'Neal out of the game, and Brown gave him a piece of his mind. Gert Hammock in the game. Shaquille very quickly checking back in the next dead ball.
Got to hustle. Got to hustle, and O'Neal didn't that one time.
Hammock.
Good block out by Goodson. That ball went right back to Hammock, but Goodson had him blocked out, and Wiseman got the rebound.
81-78.
And Tim, you're right. I don't think Tennessee's ever been ahead by more than 3 points. They'd really like to get a hoop here.
Hanson's always been able to answer with a three when LSU had to have a basket.
I think they'd like to get the ball to Houston. Oh, Griggs is pulling on his arm right there.
And there's Sean Griggsy with another defensive play.
Leg didn't look like it was bothering him too much right there, Tim.
Well, those guys from the Bayou know how to play possum.
Guess who comes up with that loose ball? What a great play by Goodson. That ball was up for grabs.
Jay Price will get a timeout. Wade Houston recognizes just how important every possession is, even with 4:30 remaining.
We went to the fight capital of the world and asked the fans, who's the greatest heavyweight ever?
By far, it's Muhammad Ali.
Ripping punches, Muhammad Ali.
Who's the heavyweight champion of the world?
Sports Illustrated presents Muhammad Ali, the video. It's free with your paid subscription to SI.
It brought back memories, things I'd seen and hadn't seen.
Palavino. God's former
Joe Frazier. He float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
And the Muhammad Ali video is free.
How can it be free?
It's free when you subscribe to Sports Illustrated. Save over 50% off the cover price.
Kind of like Muhammad Ali, it gives you everything.
You'll get 23 issues, including the baseball preview and the swimsuit issue for 3 monthly installments of only $9.89. Or you can pay by credit card.
This is Ali at his very best. People who never had seen Ali would love this tape. You can't walk away from this tape without being a Muhammad Ali fan.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. All right, man.
Call our toll-free number now and get knockout savings on Sports Illustrated and get the Muhammad Ali video free.
I shook up the world.
You're looking in the Tennessee huddle, and Wade Houston, it's amazing. Just a few weeks ago, we were down in Nashville. Vanderbilt blitzed his club. They lost by more than 40 points in that game. And Dan, this is a far cry from the team we saw in Nashville.
Nashville's a very tough place to play. Wade Houston was telling us, yeah, he got down 10 or 12, and he could have taken off the press and maybe lose the game by 12 or 15. But he said the team wouldn't get any better that way. He wanted to look, see what the press was going to work like. Didn't work at all.
Well, they're experimenting. They're trying to find an identity without an inside player that can score to complement Allen Houston and Lang Wiseman. Tonight, they have gotten something defensively down low. And they've used all the fouls they could to get it. Michael Curry already fouling out of the game. Goodson's picked up 3. Ronnie Reese has picked up his share as well. Houston dumping it down. Goodson on the floor. A tie ball with the arrow to Tennessee.
Goodson cut to the basket. It was not a very good pass by Allen Houston. It's a good idea. You draw O'Neal and you dump it to Goodson, but it was a very tough pass for Goodson to handle. Good hustle to come up with the ball, though.
If anything, Allen Houston may be guilty of being too unselfish at times.
Well, that was just self-preservation. If he tried to shoot that ball, O'Neal was throwing it right back at him.
By Houston.
How'd he get that up there?
Ronnie Reese gets the foul, but one for the highlight film in 1991 for Allen Houston.
And Wade Houston is up off the bench, and he's really upset with Ronnie Reese. Look at this play. Beats Griggs, beats Singleton, the jumps up, scoops it up. Wow. Reese just gets out of the way. What a play.
Dan, as much as people are talking about Shaquille O'Neal leaving early as a #1 pick in the NBA, you know he will stay 4 years to play for his father. Were he anywhere else with his talent coming out as a junior, he'd be have to be a #1 round draft pick in the NBA. I mean, this is a kid that could come out very quickly for a team that many would feel might not go into an NCAA. But he'll hang around with his dad.
I'm sure his dad hopes so.
I'd say that was a lottery pick move he just made.
That was a great move right there. That was a bad defensive play by Reese. You don't want to commit that foul in that situation. Now you've got to handle the pressure. Singleton knocked that ball away from him from behind. Great defense by Singleton. Time left in the game.
Boy, Griggs running right through the Goodson pick. Gets the foul.
Well, Griggs has been out there knocking people around and getting away with it. He got caught that time. For Dale Brown, if Griggs is going to foul somebody, that's foul number 4. You'd rather have him foul Goodson. Here Griggs, he gets over the Wiseman screen. Now here comes Goodson's screen. That's a great screen right there. Goodson just stationary. Stands there and takes it. Goodson's a big guy. He's a hard guy to get around. Not a good free throw shooter, however. Tried to bank that baby in.
At the beginning of the year, when we asked about Gannon Goodson, the response we got, a banger, young, tough kid, and a stopgap until we get a healthy Michael Curry. Tonight, he's been much more than a stopgap. He's been a stop against much of LSU's front court.
Those are 2 big free throws missed.
O'Neal keeps it high.
That's a good play by Goodson. He's got to block him out, though, and he didn't do it.
And O'Neal made him pay.
Goodson did everything right except he didn't block him out. Now, so O'Neal catches the ball. Goodson, you see him give a little room there. O'Neal turns. Goodson's got to go and block him out. Goodson just turned to the basket. Now Goodson's out of the game. See, Goodson, he's got to follow Shaquille O'Neal and block him out. That's a serious mistake to not block him out. O'Neal is going to score. Goodson's going to foul out of the game. And I think that's a very, very serious loss for Tennessee.
As well as he played, and as much as Michael Curry gave up himself with 5 fouls, the end result could be that all of the front court fouled out. O'Neal had his typical game. LSU could come away with a win, but there's still plenty of time remaining.
You got to use the resources that you have, and it's these guys. There's Griggs again. He just ran over Price. I don't understand why that's not a foul.
He's really hobbling. Houston gets the putback, and Griggs is on the floor. He is injured. He's been playing with pain most of this game, and now he's down.
He just ran over Jay Price, and he may have gotten a knee in the thigh for his efforts.
Harold Boudreaux will no doubt be called upon to come back into the game. Dr. Marty Broussard, the longtime trainer of LSU.
Dr. Broussard's got to watch his glasses there. He leaned over and the glasses fell out of his pocket.
Nice response from the crowd, respecting the defensive job that Sean Griggs does game in and game out, as well as tonight's job against a player these fans know a lot about, Allen Houston.
Well, Houston made a real intelligent play. Griggs was out of the play. He stayed in the play, and he's able to get the hoop. Very, very physical basketball game. Wiseman, here comes Houston across. There's Price stepping in. That's a foul. You know, I'm sorry. He just drove him outside. Griggs planted his foot right there, and that's where the injury occurred.
LSU trailing by 1.
Haven't heard from Hansen in a while. They're playing that special defense against Hansen.
And he banks it in.
That's unbelievable.
2 in a row. Right off the glass for him.
Right on cue, though, by Hansen. He's asking for a 3-pointer, but I think his foot was on the line. It's going to count 2.
Inside, Carlos Groves gives the Vols the lead. That's his first hoop of the game.
Great pass by Wiseman. He recognized O'Neal coming toward him and gave the great bounce pass.
Singleton set the pick. Not caught. Yes, a moving pick, and he got caught. His 4th.
And Price is going to get the opportunity to go down and shoot 2. Very composed, Dale Brown. You get a look at it from the high angle. Here comes Singleton. He gets the foul because he's got to be stationary. He turned his left shoulder into the defender.
Dale Brown will use the timeout.
Groves was at the free throw line. I didn't think Groves was the guy who got fouled on that play. I thought it was Price. Dale Brown calling a timeout.
LSU is reduced somewhat when you think of this special defense that Tennessee has deployed against Hanson. Briggs is out of the game. They need some help from some people that they don't normally get much offense from, namely Harold Boudreau. Those types of players may need to come through for them.
Tennessee has done a great job on the boards tonight. You can see LSU, the leading rebounding team in the SEC. Tennessee way down the list. But Tennessee's done a great job tonight. And I think that it's Tennessee who may actually be a little bit more hurting in terms of personnel than Dale Brown. Listen.
You got to be aggressive and smart. We'll see now what we're made of. We backed ourselves in this position. Now let's pull together. Hey, let's put our hands here. Hey, let's meet this time.
A little more difficult to hear Wade Houston than to hear Dale Brown, but that's not the first time we've made that analogy where coaches are concerned. Dale is usually heard by many within range. He is talking mostly about confidence. We've backed ourselves into this position. We'll see what we're made of.
Well, it's very interesting what's going on. Wade Houston is sitting there diagramming plays, and what Dale Brown was doing was just saying, hey, we really got to suck it up right now. He's talking more about effort and intensity. Wade Houston is diagramming the play.
Tom Mees and Gary Miller is standing by with SportsCenter immediately following our game. And down in Tampa, side of the Super Bowl, Chris Berman and Joe Theismann. All of that coming up immediately following this game. Carlos Groves at the stripe, 58%. The problems continue at the line at key times for that man's team.
Well, I tell you what, if Groves is the guy who got fouled, I'd have tried to sneak somebody else to the line. Boy, they've missed 4 in a row now. Goodson missed 2, now Groves misses 2. Price matched up against Hanson one-on-one. The other 4 guys playing zone.
LSU, by the way, with only 1 timeout remaining. O'Neal's pass too low for Harold Boudreau.
Bounced it right off Boudreau's ankles. That's what Dale Brown and LSU wanted. Get the ball to O'Neal. Get the ball, and then have O'Neal pass it to a cutter, but it wasn't a good pass.
Groves, a jump stop, and a hoop. Tennessee's lead is 3. Hanson already tying a career high. The first option in Dale Brown's perimeter. Too strong. Wiseman recovers for Tennessee.
That may be the first bad shot Hanson has taken tonight. That was way outside. I think you got to get the ball in O'Neal's hands, as small as Tennessee is. Now you got to get the ball back.
Groves loses it to Boudreau.
Groves doing too much playing around with it inside.
Boudreau for 3. Lanier Burns follows.
That's a block. Reese blocked the shot.
Out of bounds to the Tigers.
Not very good discipline by LSU on that particular sequence.
35 seconds remaining.
That's a long 3 by Boudreau. There's Burns, however. What a nice move. Reese gets the blocked shot. Allen Houston knocks it out of bounds. Then Boudreau knocks him into the bench.
LSU could hold it for a 3. Boudreau on the line for 2. Singleton fouled by Reese.
You don't want to foul in that situation, but if you are going to foul, you want to make sure that he doesn't get the ball up on the board. Wade Houston up calling timeout. Go back and look at the end of that last play and watch what Boudreau does here to Allen Houston. The ball goes out of bounds. Now watch this. Watch Boudreau's right hand. He's just going to take and push Allen Houston. I don't know, but that's not a flagrant foul right there, Tim. I mean, you just can't push the guy out of bounds into the seats.
Wally Tanner was right in front of it. And this is a crew of good officials. From time to time they miss one. They may have missed one right there. Critical because now Houston must diagram a defense that's cognizant of O'Neal inside, Hansen outside.
Well, let's look at the situation that we've got, Tim. The situation that we have is Singleton at the line for 2 shots. Now Singleton at the line for 2 shots. He makes both shots, let's say. You're still down by 1 point. So what Wade Houston and his team don't have to shoot the ball.
They're trying to send Houston back, getting the ball so they can take it. You got to stay in front of him, and you can pick it off. You can pick off.
What they're doing is diagramming what they want to do in their pressure after the free throw.
Harold, you'll be the guy over here. Mike's here. So you can get in there and intercept. Mike, you look for an interception, okay?
Listen up.
Stop
LSU
everything long,
saying that Tennessee wants to throw it into Houston.
He's going to hit them both. We're 1 down. We zone press. We got to pick up our men. We have 1 timeout left. So if we need the timeout, call it. If we score and we're 1 behind, call it. Okay? Okay?
At times like these, you've got to be clear with your team. You heard the voice of Craig Carse talking a bit about defense, and then Dale Brown talking about the possibilities. There you see the situation. 1 timeout remaining, no fouls to give in the arrow to LSU.
Now, what are the odds, Tim? What are the odds if this guy makes both free throws, somebody's going to call a timeout? Now, that's not what Dale Brown meant, but he did say if we score and we're within 1, call a timeout.
Well, they won't be within 1.
Okay, it's off then. That's great coaching.
I understand your point. I'm gathering he knew what he meant.
He knows what he means, but what about those 5 guys out on the court?
Yeah. 89-87.
Got to get the ball in bounds. That's a good inbounds right there.
Nice guy to have it late in the game as well. Allen Houston, 90% at the line, fouled by Singleton. That's 4 against Singleton.
2 shots coming up for Allen Houston. And of course, by making 2, he puts it at 4.
And this would mean 2 possessions for LSU.
And given the way Hansen has shot the ball tonight, I think you'd like to keep it at 4.
Steve Rivers will come into the game. That's a defensive substitution. Considered one of the better defenders on the Tennessee team.
It sure is. They're going to have 6 guys in there. No, Weissman's going out of the game. That's a great defensive substitution. You can get 6 guys in the game.
Weissman, obviously the star offensively. Tom Mees and Gary Miller standing by.
Oh, my! You can just see the guys on the Tennessee bench throw their heads back saying, not again.
When you're 1-5 in the SEC, that can happen to you all too often. Again, it's Hansen offensively. Number 11 in purple, the one to watch.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to watch him. If you get beat, you don't want to get beat by Hansen.
Lanier Burns. Burns follows. Shaquille O'Neal puts it in. Timeout, LSU, 9 seconds remaining.
That's what Dale Brown told him to do. If we score and we come within 1, call the timeout. That's what he meant, and that's what happened. But it gets so congested. When you're in that huddle, you don't know what people are hearing. Now, what Tennessee is going to do, the first thing that you have to do is get the ball in bounds. That's number 1. If you're Tennessee, then what you have to do, you've shot the ball very poorly from the free throw line down the stretch here. The idea would be, in the best of all worlds, that you keep the ball moving so they can't foul anybody.
Let's face it, if you're LSU and you know about these numbers in the last 3.5 minutes, don't you put Tennessee on the line, let them get their chance to go up 3, have a chance to tie the game, send it into overtime when you're on the road?
I think that you go to...
Let's listen.
You take Shaquille's
very comfortable with cameras in his huddle. Other coaches perhaps not as comfortable. One of the reasons why you're hearing more from Coach Brown than Wade Houston. You heard him mention fouling. 33 and 34.
34 Reese. Reese is out of the ball game.
He's checked out, so Groves would be the guy you want. You may just have to foul anybody.
You go for the ball, Tim.
And then the foul if you don't get it.
You go for the ball. 9 seconds, you got enough time.
Griggs, right there, he picks up his 5th. Wiseman will go to the line. He is a 65% free throw shooter.
Fouls on Griggs, his 5th personal foul.
Check that, an 88% free throw shooter. Need to update my numbers. 88, yeah, I had it. 88, I just looked at his field goal shooting rather than his free throw shooting. So he's a pretty good free throw shooter, but again, you give your team a chance, even if he makes both, to send the game to overtime.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Tim. And the other thing is, Wiseman goes to the line knowing that his team has lost the opportunity against Auburn, lost the opportunity to beat Kentucky by missing free throws. Got to be careful he doesn't short arm this baby. Perfect.
Gannon Goodson. He's on the bench now, but he's meant a great deal in putting Tennessee in this position. So has Michael Curry.
I'll tell you what, you find Hansen and get inside his shorts. And that's what Jay Price is trying to do.
There's the steal by Groves. It is Rocky Top in Knoxville.
Words of encouragement from Dale Brown to Wade Houston. He knows what it's like to build a program from the ground up. Tennessee got it done. For Dan Bonner, Tim Brando, so long.